Hey, Mrs. Higashi. Buzz.
What, Mr. Higashi?
Buzz.
Mr. Higashi, what's all the buzz about?
Well, today's art project, of course. Cardboard tube bees. Here's what you'll need to make our bee project today. A piece of scrap paper to paint on top of, black and yellow paint, a brush, some water. I used tape today, but you could also use a stapler, 2 pipe cleaners, black preferably, some glue, googly eyes, a piece of scrap paper, mine's from a book, but you could use a newspaper, scissors, and of course, a paper cardboard tube. If you don't have all these supplies, you can make an alternate version that Mrs. Higashi made, where she, instead of painting, used construction paper, glue, and she made hers fly with some string and chopsticks. Let's see how to do this. All right, first I need to paint my tube. Make sure you leave or place a paper down so you don't get your table dirty. I'm gonna start with yellow, and I'm gonna color the whole thing yellow. Just a quick cover up, and then after the yellow, I'm gonna put some black stripes on it. You want to take 2 pipe cleaners, black preferably, and cut them into 4 equal sections. Now take your paper tube, and with a pencil, sharp, you're going to poke 3 holes for the legs on each side of the body. Now take your tube and pinch the ends in and squeeze them together to close the body. If you have a stapler, you can staple it closed, or a piece of tape can go over it. Do it on both sides. It'll make your tube kind of flat. Here's some tape. After you've closed your bee, I'm going to take some white glue and put a little dot on the holes and insert the legs. Try to make them even. Do it on both sides. Do the same thing for the antenna. And then you can bend them to how you want them to look. I'm going to make mine so my bee can stand up when he's landed. Sort of. Finally, I took a piece of book paper that I just tore out of an old book I had laying around. Ask your parents before you do that. But you can use newspaper as well, and I cut out some simple leaf shapes, sort of like a flower. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on the back, stick them down, let that dry, and I have 2 googly eyes that I'm gonna glue on for the face. If you don't have googly eyes at home, you could just make 2 small circles of paper and put 2 black dots in them for your eyes. Lastly, I'm gonna take one more pipe cleaner, if I have one, and I'm gonna cut off the end, just one small little piece. If I don't have one, I can use a piece of cardboard, and I'm gonna stick it into the back for a stinger. Now, I should have probably made a hole here. I did not, so I'm just gonna stick it on, just like that, and let it dry. And there you go. Cute little bee. Buzz.
All right, friends, for my version of the bee, I wrapped black and yellow construction paper around my tube, and I used the same things as Mr. Higashi, like the googly eyes and the book pages for the wings, but I didn't use any legs. I did put a little hole for the antenna, but what I also did was I used a hole punch, and I punched a hole in the back and the front of the tube so I could tie a string around some yarn, and then I glued 2 sticks together. Now you can use either old chopsticks, or you could use popsicle sticks, and you can tie that, and then I hot glued them together. So I made a little X, and then you're able to use it almost like a little marionette.
Mrs. Higashi, did you enjoy today's art lesson?
I thought it was unbelievably fun.
Well, thanks for joining us today, and make sure to check back soon for our next video.
And remember, always be artistic.